Hey guys, today we are going to be installing the 2J Racing oil catch can on my Corolla hatchback. I was doing research and it's not a bad thing to have. These engines aren't really known to have a lot of blow-by, but it's always nice to have if you're doing a lot of traveling. So let's open up the box, see what's in there, and get to the install. So here's what we have in the box. I was a little impatient and already opened it up. So we got two long hoses, all the different bits and pieces that you'll use to attach all the pieces to the car. Looks like a bracket to hold the can, the actual oil air separator, sticker, always a must, and then some hosing. Maybe we'll find out what that's for down the road, I don't know, but let's get to the install. So the first step to this whole process is to remove this hose. I found easiest to do was stick a screwdriver in the end to get it started and then wiggle it back and forth. The next step to this whole process is to actually assemble the catch can. The first step to that is in this whole packet of stuff is to take these drain bolts and install them on the catch can. The first one, it goes in the bottom. There is like an optional drain kit that you can get that would install in the bottom, but I did not get that. The second one would be on this far right side. That is for something I'm not quite sure of. I need to do more research on that, but that is where the second drain bolt goes. We did get the bolts in. There's the first one, and the second one's in there. You just get them tight and then give them about 2 ooga doogas. So the next step would be to to put in these two threaded pieces into those two holes so that the hoses can attach to them. Okay, now that we have the catch can assembled, it is time to start routing the housing and assembling all the different things. So that's how it's supposed to look like. Stick the very small rubber hose onto that, and then stick one of these reducers in. After getting the short piece on with the I forgot what that's called, but the plastic reducer, you're gonna take one of your pieces of hoses. A big thing to look out for is these hoses are 2 different sizes. It's kind of hard to tell, but right here you can see one's maybe 1 inch to 1/2 inch shorter than the other. If this makes sense, the longer piece of the shorter hoses. So out of these two, take the longer one, and then put it on the valve cover one. So out of the 2 hoses they give us, one is 27 inches and one is 28. The shorter one connects to the one that's coming off the top of the valve cover, and then the longer one attaches to the one off the intake. So as you can see, we got the hoses routed. The long one, of course, attached to the one going back to the intake. The shorter one coming off the valve cover. I did route it under this hose, so I went under that hose, went under it, kind of followed, and then just attached it right there. Alright, hello, it is me from the future. I realized while editing this video, I may have told you wrong. I may have routed it a little bit wrong. So let me show you the correct way. That way you guys don't do it the wrong way too. And we'll get back to the video. Ignore some of the mods, you're not supposed to see this yet. But I did, instead of routing this hose under and then having it connect down here, I just ran it on top over here. That stayed the same, but ran that on top, shorter one, like I said, then the longer one. And then I took it out from under this wire. That was just causing too much pressure on this wire, so definitely don't do that. One problem I have with this is when the motor gets hot, the sleeve, it's meant to protect it, but it kind of rubs against it. So that is really the only concern about this way of routing, you could say, but I'm pretty sure this is the correct way. Just had to correct myself, that way you guys don't get told the wrong information. So let's get back to the video. Actually, before we get those clamps on, let's get the catch can installed. To do that, we will need to take out this bolt right here. After you take that bolt out, it is time to assemble the bracket. So to assemble the bracket, This will be your top piece. It faces down, so the holes are on the bottom. Then you take this piece, put it like that, just start threading them in. That's how it's supposed to look like. This is the top side, and then as you can see, those bolts are in the bottom. And then to install that on the car, you will use this bolt that is supplied. So I'm just leaving this bolt right here kind of loose, that way I can turn in case I need it. And then once it's in its final position, I will tighten it down completely. To get this even, like the lines in between that, you just kind of have to fiddle, like loosen one side, tighten the other, and then just eventually get the two sides tight and even. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get this bracket around, but we got it on, so that's good. Routed the hoses in, they fit pretty nice. Now it's time to tighten down this bolt. So then the last step after getting this bolt tightened down is to put on those clamps. I got the 2 clamps on, heat shield went on, don't forget it. I did, but got it back on. And so yeah, the install is done. But yeah, that will wrap up the install of the 2J Racing catch can for the Corolla hatch. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next video.